Hello everyone. Welcome to Zoho Payroll Expert Talk. I'm Hanish, product expert on Zoho Payroll, and I'll be walking you through the third session of the Expert Talk series. Before we get started, a few housekeeping notes. I hope I'm audible. If you are unable to hear or view the screen, I request you to refresh your browser once. You're watching this session with us through Zoho Showtime, an interactive platform to host sessions powered by Zoho. Let me quickly walk you through the Showtime console you're looking at so that it's easy for you to navigate it. On the left side of the console, you'll see the Questions tab, where you can ask your questions and we'll answer them at the end of the session. We would like this to be a lot more interactive, so there are plenty of polls throughout the session and we encourage all the attendees to participate in it. Once you post your response, the summary will be displayed in the polls option. Besides that, if you want to interact with us during the session, you can use the chat window. We have our product experts waiting to answer your queries. In case you're attending the session for the first time, here's a quick intro on what the Expert Talk is. It is a platform to interact frequently with our customers and understand how we as a community can help each other to make best use of Zoho Payroll. Throughout the series, we'll be coming up with various sessions wherein our product experts will educate you on standard features or sometimes enhanced versions of the existing features or a totally new feature that you might not have used frequently within Zoho Payroll. To make this interesting, we'll narrate the session with real-life scenarios and examples. This way, you can even adopt best practices followed by payroll teams across India. You'll be receiving updates about the expert series as and when we have new sessions lined up for you in your mailbox and inside the product, so watch out for them. In last two sessions, we covered few customizations inside Zoho Payroll and also how to generate Form 16 for your employees. You can find the recordings of both the sessions on our website under the Resources tab. We have added the link to the same inside the chat window as well for your reference. In today's session, we'll be focusing on understanding two major components that are part of any employee salary structure, statutory and salary components. So let's dive right in. Different organizations have different needs when it comes to salary components and statutory benefits. In order to make the most out of this session for all our attendees, we have split the entire session into two halves. In the first half, we'll cover the fundamentals of salary and statutory components in theory. In the second half, we'll take real-life examples of three different salary structures of employees belonging to various levels of hierarchy in an organization and show you how to configure them. By end of the session, we are hoping to leave you with enough knowledge to comfortably work on Zoho Payroll, creating compensation structures regardless of whatever your organization policies are. So let's begin with the fundamentals. Every salary structure is usually a split of salary components and statutory benefits. First, let's learn the basics of salary components. They're classified into three categories: earnings, deductions, and reimbursements. Earnings are further classified as fixed and variable pay. All the allowances come under the fixed pay, while the one-time payments like annual bonus come under the variable pay. Deductions. Deductions can be classified into two types: pre-tax and post-tax. The differentiating aspect between the two deductions is the tax saving benefit for the employee. So whenever you make a pre-tax deduction, your employees won't have to pay income tax for it. One good example of a pre-tax deduction is the group Mediclaim insurance premium. When you make a post-tax deduction, the employees are liable to pay income tax on it. Asset damage deduction is an example of post-tax deduction. Next is the CTC reimbursements. CTC reimbursements are for the personal expenses done by the employee in a month. For employees belonging to higher tax slabs, CTC reimbursements help in reducing their taxable income to an extent. The employee has to raise a claim by submitting the appropriate bills as a proof of their expense and should be sent for organization's approval. Once the organization approves, the reimbursement gets paid out to the employees without any tax being attracted on it. Above three are the main categories under the salary components. Outside of this, there's a concept called flexible benefit plan. Flexible benefit plan is designed to provide maximum income tax benefit for the employees. You can allow employees to design a portion of the salary structure by selecting the earnings and reimbursements from the list of the ones offered by you under this plan. Now let's learn the basics of statutory benefits. They are government-based schemes which looks after the welfare and well-being of employees during the course of employment. These statutory schemes also benefit the employee post their retirement from services. There are three main statutory benefits: Employee Provident Fund, Employee State Insurance, and Labor Welfare Fund. First, let's look at the Employee Provident Fund. This scheme provides social security to the employees post their retirement from service. Both employees and employers need to make an equal contribution of 12% towards this fund every month. Next is Employee State Insurance. This scheme provides employees and their dependents with health insurance policies at lower premium rates. Employees earning monthly income of Rs 21,000 or less is eligible for the scheme. The revised overall ESI contribution rate is 4%. Of the 4%, 3.25% is the insurance premium borne by the organization, and remaining 0.75% is borne by the employee. Next, the Labor Welfare Fund. Labor Welfare Fund was introduced in the year 1965 to improve the laborers' working conditions and provide social security that can help in improving the standard of living for the employees. The benefits cover education, medical facilities, food, transportation, and recreation. Labor Welfare Fund is a state-specific statutory that is managed by individual state authorities. Some states do not even support Labor Welfare Fund. All the salary components and statutory components that we have seen until now are the monetary benefits provided to an employee as a part of salary. But as an organization, you can provide your managers or directors with non-monetary benefits like company accommodation, company vehicle, company provided helper, etc. Although these are not part of the salary structure, the employee is liable to pay income tax for the value of the asset being provided to them. This concept is known by the term perquisites. Now that we have covered the basics of salary and statutory components in theory, we'll look at how these components can be created in Zoho Payroll. This is the landing page of Zoho Payroll. In order to create your very first salary component, navigate to Settings. Click on Salary Components. Under the Earnings tab, you will see a predefined set of commonly used allowances which you can use. If you want to create a new allowance type, click the Add Component option. From the drop-down, click Earning. In the new Earning screen, select the earning component from the predefined list. Since different organizations follow different naming conventions for the allowances, you can choose to personalize the earning component name and also give it a different name for the same component when it reflects in the payslip. Click Mark as Active and click Save once you're happy with the configuration. This newly created earning component will now reflect in Earnings tab by default. If you do not find the allowance you want to offer from the predefined earning list, choose Custom Allowances. Custom allowances give you more flexibility to create components based on pay type, fixed or variable, and calculation type, flat amount or percentage of basic. On the right hand side, you will have other options like calculating allowance on a pro rata basis, etc. Click Mark as Active and click Save once you're happy with the configuration. Now let's move with the next topic, deductions. As discussed before, there are pre-tax and post-tax deductions. To create a pre-tax deduction, navigate to Settings. Click Salary Components. If you want to create a pre-tax deduction, from the Deductions tab, click Add Component option. From the drop-down, click Pre-tax Deduction. In this page, the deduction plan is pre-filled. In the next drop-down, associate this deduction with, you can choose the investment plan so that employee gets an income tax benefit on this deduction under the selected section of the Income Tax Act. This field is not mandatory and can be left blank if there is no exemption that needs to be given to the employee. Name this deduction using the Name in Payslip text box. The pre-tax deduction is designed in such a way that there can be an employer contribution and employee contribution for the deduction. If your organization has a policy to deduct employer contribution from the employee CTC, check the box Include employer's contribution in CTC. You can also choose to allow the application to calculate this deduction based on the employee's working days in a month. So once after all these configurations are made, click on Mark as Active and click on Save. Similar to pre-tax, post-tax deduction can be created by navigating to Add Component, Post-tax deduction. Here, enter the name to be displayed on payslip. Given the preference to set up the deduction frequency, that is, if it is a one-time deduction or a recurring deduction. Click on Mark as Active and save once you're done with the configuration. Next is the setting up of reimbursements. Reimbursements, as discussed earlier, are for providing employees with income tax benefit. Different categories of reimbursements that you see on the screen are approved by Income Tax Department and are pre-configured in Zoho Payroll. The setup that needs to be done with the reimbursement is to configure if it's a part of the flexible benefit plan, along with the maximum limit per month allowed for the employees to claim. You can mark this as active and click on Save to activate this component. Let's now move to see the setup of statutory benefits. As an organization, you might be worried of meeting all the statutory compliance with correct calculations at the time of pay run every month. In order to keep you out of this, we have built Zoho Payroll in such a way that calculations for the statutory compliance are automated. All that you would require is to make a one-time setup of the sub-policies that you follow in your organization. For accessing the setting of statutory benefits, you can navigate to Settings, click on Statutory Components. Here, first let's take a look at the setup of Employee Provident Fund. When you click on Enable button, the setup page will look something like this. The first two drop-downs are for setting up the employee and employer contributions. From the drop-downs, you can choose the configuration as 12% of the EPF wages, or you can also restrict the contribution to 15,000 of the PF wages. Next is the option to include and deduct the employer contribution of EPF from the employee CTC. The configuration that you are setting up here applies to all the employees across the organization. But organizations tend to provide few of their employees with different contribution rate. In that case, you can use this option of override and make changes to the contribution rate at the employee level. Below are the options for proration of the EPF amount. These options will be discussed in detail in upcoming expert talk sessions. Next is the employee state insurance. The employer and employee contributions for ESI are pre-fed in the application. The current rates are 3.25% for the employer contribution and 0.75% for the employee contribution. In case of any changes in the contribution rates, our backend team will update them here for you. The option to include and deduct the employer contribution from the employee CTC is available here. Next on the list is the professional tax. Although professional tax is not a statutory benefit, Every employee is required to pay this tax to the respective state government. Few states do not support professional tax. In Zoho Payroll, the calculation for the professional tax is completely automated. Next is the Labor Welfare Fund. The rates for Labor Welfare Fund is pre-configured as per the respective state laws in Zoho Payroll. All that you need to do is enable or disable by clicking on this button. With this, we have come to an end to the first half of the session. Now let's move to the next half of the session. We'll now be looking at the case study of Zilker Corporation. Zilker Corporation is a technology company based out of Chennai and Gurgaon. Their teams range from sales, support, development, marketing, and user education. These teams are led by a group of managers and directors. In this session, we'll be looking at the salary structures of product developers, sales agents, and managers to understand the different concepts while a salary structure is set up in Zoho Payroll. For better understanding of the salary structures, we have provided you with a handout. Click on the handouts option on the Showtime application to access it. Hope you are all ready with the handout. First, let us start with the salary structure of the product developer. As you can see, the salary structure consists of earnings, reimbursements, flexible benefit plan, and EPF employer contribution. Under earnings, there are basic, house rent allowance, food coupon, and special allowances. The reimbursement section consists of leave travel allowance and telephone reimbursement. Under the flexible benefit plan, there are driver reimbursements and conveyance allowance. And finally, there is a EPF of 12% being calculated. Let's see how the salary structure can be set up for an employee in Zoho Payroll. First, let us create these components in the application. Let's start with the basic. Basic is a mandatory earning component that is readily set up in Zoho Payroll for your convenience. In the salary components page, click on basic and the configuration is readily available. In this case, the basic is 50% of CTC. Next is the house rent allowance. House rent allowance is also made readily available in the application for your ease. In this case, house rent allowance is 50% of basic. Next is the food coupon. In order to create this component, you can navigate to Add Components, Earnings. In the drop-down, type in food coupon. In this configuration page, enter the name of the earning and name on payslip. The pay type is fixed pay and the calculation type is flat amount. Let's enter the amount as rupees 2200. Rest of the configurations remain the same, so mark it as active and click on Save. Moving to the next earning component, Special Allowance. Special allowance, also known as fixed allowance, is the residual earning component in the salary structure. The component is completely automated to calculate the rest of the amount based on the values given to the other earning components in the salary structure. So click on the fixed allowance component and type in the earning and the payslip names as special allowance as per the salary structure requirement. Now let's move to reimbursements. Click on Leave Travel Allowance. Choose the handling of the unclaimed amount. For this case, let us choose the option to encash in the same financial year. Enter the maximum amount of claim allowed in your organization. In this case, the amount is rupees 10,000 per month. Mark this component as active and click on Save. The next component on the list is the telephone reimbursements. Enter the maximum claimable amount per month for your organization, mark it as active, and click on Save. Moving to the flexible benefit plan components. Under this, there are driver reimbursement and conveyance allowance. As we know, FBB components are given as a choice to the employees to make them a part of their salary structure. Navigate to the driver reimbursement component and click on the option Include this as a flexible benefit plan component. Enter the maximum claimable amount, mark it as active, and save. For the conveyance allowance, navigate back to the earnings, click on the conveyance allowance, choose the option Include this as a flexible benefit plan component. Under this, an option appears to restrict the employee from overriding the FBB amount. Click on it and click on Save. Last component of the structure is the EPF. So let's switch to the statutory components page in Zoho Payroll. So in here, you can click on Enable EPF. The employee and employer contributions are being set as 12% of actual PF wages. The option to include the employer contribution in the CTC should also be checked in. So now this configuration can be saved. Since all the salary components required for this structure are set up, let's form them as a salary structure in Zoho Payroll. For that, let's navigate to Employees. An employee profile with developer role has already been created. In the salary details page, we find all the components that we have set up. First, enter the annual CTC of the employee, which is 12 lakh rupees. Since the basic was given as 50% during the setup, it has been pre-populated. It is the case for the other earning components too. These values can be altered from employee to employee. Under reimbursements, let's enter the monthly eligibility for this employee, which is 5,000, and telephone reimbursements, which is 1,800. The flexible benefit plan components needs to be enabled by clicking on the checkbox available in front of the components. Let's leave this blank so that employees can choose the value of these components. Click Save. Since the calculation for EPF is automated in Zoho Payroll, you can enable this switch so that application calculates the EPF for the employee. Let's also see how the FBB declaration is done from the employee portal. So let's switch to the employee portal of Zoho Payroll. On the landing page, there'll be an option to view and submit FBB declaration. Here, the employee can choose the component, driver allowance, and enter the amount required. Next, while the conveyance is being enabled, the employee will not be able to change the amount for it. This is because the conveyance allowance was opted in to restrict the overriding of the amount. So this is what the final salary structure of a product developer looks like in Zoho Payroll. Let's quickly move to see the salary structure of a sales agent of Zilker Corporation. In this salary structure, there are earnings, variable pay, pre-tax deductions, along with EPF and ESI contributions. Let's start with earnings. Basic has a fixed value of rupees 10,000 rather than a percentage. So in the salary components page, duplicate basic can be created in addition to the existing basic. Navigate to add component, Earnings, choose Basic from the drop-down. Enter the earning name slightly different from the original basic component, and the calculation type is to be chosen as flat amount. This configuration can be saved. Similarly, the duplicate components can be created for house rent allowance and conveyance allowance components too. Special allowance being the residual component, it requires no configuration that needs to be done. Moving to the variable pay, that is the performance linked pay. To do so, create a custom allowance earning component. Navigate to Add Component, Earnings, Custom Allowance, Earning and payslip name must be entered. Next, choose the pay type as variable pay. Choose the option Make this component a part of employee salary structure. Tax deduction preference can be chosen as per the organization needs. Mark the component as active and click on Save. Next out of the list is the medical insurance. In order to create that, click on Add Component, Pre-tax deduction. Choose the plan under Section 80D for providing the exemption for the employee and enter the name on payslip. Also, choose the option to include the employer contribution in CTC. Mark the component as active and save. For EPF, the configuration changes will be discussed during the setup of the salary structure. Click on ESI. Enable ESI. Opt in to include the employer contribution in CTC and save this configuration. Since all the components are created, let's move to replicate this structure in Zoho Payroll. Enter the annual CTC, which is rupees 3 lakhs. Opt in for this option to include the variable pay in the CTC. Value of the performance linked pay is 50,000 for a year. For basic, you can click on the drop down and choose basic fixed amount and enter rupees 10,000 as monthly amount. Same applies to HRA and conveyance, with the amounts being rupees 2,500 and rupees 1,500 respectively. Special allowance gets auto computed. Save the salary structure. Next, let's navigate to enable the EPF and ESI for this structure. Since the EPF contribution is restricted to 15,000, you can scroll to edit this option and choose the employee and employer contribution as restricted to 15,000 of PF wages. This setting will be applied only to this particular employee profile. Finally, to configure the medical insurance, you can click on Add Deduction button, Pre-tax deduction. From the drop-down, choose Medical Insurance. Enter the employee contribution of rupees 1,000 and choose the deduction end frequency. In this case, option to never end is being chosen. So this is what the final salary structure of a sales agent belonging to Zilker Corporation looks like in Zoho Payroll. Next is the salary structure of a manager in Zilker Corporation. This salary structure consists of basic and special allowance, gratuity deduction, and a deduction for office parking rent. Apart from this, the employee is provided with perquisites such as company accommodation, company vehicle, and company provided help. The setup for basic was already done for the previous salary structure, and special allowance gets auto-computed. Coming to the gratuity deduction, as an organization, you might be deducting the gratuity from the employee CTC and will be paying it out during their resignation if they have completed a minimum of 5 years in your organization. It is the same case here. To create a gratuity deduction, click on Add Component, Pre-tax Deduction. It is not required to fill in the plan type, so you can directly enter the name on payslip. Opt in to include the employer contribution in CTC. Mark this component as active and save. At last, we have the parking rental deduction. This deduction can be termed under post-tax deduction as it does not provide any tax exemption for the employee. In order to create this component, click on Add Component again, Post-tax deduction, enter the name required, and choose it as recurring deduction. Let's save this configuration. Perquisites will be directly set up in the salary details page. So let's now see how this salary structure is set up in Zoho Payroll. The annual CTC is rupees 24 lakhs. And the basic is 50% of the CTC. Let's save this configuration. To add the deductions, click on the Add Deduction button, choose Pre-tax Deduction, choose Gratuity from the drop-down, switch to percentage of basic, and the percentage value for gratuity is 4.81% of basic. This can be saved. Similarly, for parking rental deduction, click on Add Deduction again, Post-tax deduction, choose parking rental deduction, enter the amount as 8,000 per month. Set up the deduction end preference, which is never ends, and click on Save. This is how the salary structure of a manager looks like in Zoho Payroll. Apart from this, we have the perquisites that needs to be set up. For that, you can scroll to the perquisites option in the salary details page. Here, there are various heads under which the perquisites can be provided to the employees. In this case, we have company accommodation worth of rupees 2 lakhs per year. So this amount can be entered in the second column. Company vehicle with maintenance of rupees 35,000 per year and helper worth 20,000 per year. All these sum up to 2,55,000 and the employee has to pay the income tax for this amount. With this, we have come to the end of the session. Thus, we can now understand how the salary components and statutory components are configured in Zoho Payroll. All the customizable options under these modules are designed carefully to meet the salary compliance requirements laid down in India. Further to this, Expert Talk 4 will be on how to process payrolls in Zoho Payroll. Hope you found this session useful. Before we open up for questions, here's one last poll for the day and then our product expert will answer them for you. Hope you all found this session useful. Before we open for questions, here's one last poll for the day.
Hanish, just stepping in for a minute. I hope it's okay.
Not a problem, Archana. Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, I don't know if you noticed, so we have tried something new in this session. If you check out the salary structures we had three different salary structures, and they belong to different levels of employees in the organization. They belong to different departments, and the designations were different. And we have tried to cover all different components with fixed pay and variable pay and basic, which is, part of CPC, taxable and non-taxable. We have tried to cover as much as we can using just three structures. Now, if you might feel like you want to go back to the session again, you have the handouts with you. We'll send them as well as the recording again to you. So you can, if you refer them hand in hand, I think it will be a lot easier for you to understand how we have tried to bring in everything inside, and it can help you set up things for your organization as well. So I hope you found this useful. Now, before we move on after the poll, we have a small FAQ session. If you guys remember, during the registration itself, we had asked you guys to send us questions. So we have picked a few questions which we think will be useful for everybody and which is something a lot of people might have. So there'll be a short FAQ session and Hanish will be answering them. And then we are opening up to questions and questions will be answered on air. So thank you so much. I just want to let you guys know about it. Yeah.
Thanks, Archana, and thank you all for answering the poll. So, as Archana said, before we move with the live Q&A, we'll be answering a few frequently asked questions from the webinar registration page. So the first question is, what are the earning components considered for calculation of ESI and PF? For ESI, all the earning components except for annual bonus can be chosen. For EPF, apart from the house rent allowance, all the fixed pay earning components can be considered. Moving to the next part of the question, will gratuity and annual bonus be considered as a part of PF and ESI calculation in Zoho payroll? Both gratuity and annual bonus should not be considered for EPF and ESI. However, we have provided an option to consider bonus for the ESI calculation in Zoho payroll. Moving to the second question. In our organization salary structure, all the reimbursements are part of the CTC. A certain percentage of it is declared as fixed reimbursement. If employees submit the bill for the entire amount of reimbursement, then it will be non-taxable. And if they submit bills only for the partial amount, then the rest will be taxable. Can I set this up inside Zoho payroll? Yes, that is how reimbursements work in Zoho payroll. In fact, the unclaimed amount for the reimbursement will be paid out automatically to the employee at the end of the financial year. That is in the month of March. Moving to the third question, need information on setting up Form 16 and changing the tax deductor information. Expert Talk 2 was regarding the Form 16 generation. So you can find the link to the same in the handout section. So in the handout section, we have given you the link. So you can use that and look at the recorded webinar. Yeah. Fourth question, can we edit the salary after being revised? Yes, the salary revision can be edited before it's involved in a pay run. So once after it's involved, you'll not be able to. Next question, how to define the salary components for tax benefits? The salary components eligible for tax exemptions are predefined in Zoho payroll. So all that you need to do is just create those components and use it for the employee salary structure. So automatically those components will be eligible for the income tax
exemption. Next question, we do not have PF option now, but in future we might have to enable it. Is that possible? Yes, we do understand that many of the startups are using Zoho Payroll. So as and when you're eligible for the EPF, you can definitely come here and enable the EPF for your organization. How to add business expense as reimbursement components in salary? Expense reimbursements are not supported in Zoho Payroll. However, under Zoho suite of products, we have a product named Zoho Expense for handling such kind of reimbursements. So we'll be providing the link in the chat window. You can just take a look at the product. Next question, can we modify components once it is set up? Okay, I guess once after the employees are given with the salary components, okay. So the value and the name of the component can be altered once it is set up, but not the other configurations. So next part of the question is also we want to pay DA to our employees in tune with market inflation. So how to set this up with variable component? So DA is nothing but the DNS allowance. We have a ready-made component available inside Zoho Payroll for the DNS allowance. So you can just make changes to the value of the component as and when required. Can we create our own payslip template inside Zoho Payroll? Sorry, creating a new payslip template is currently not available in Zoho Payroll, but we do have plans to bring it in the future. So with this, we have come to the end of the frequently asked question session. So it will be the live Q&A now. So most of the questions are answered by our product expert Sriram on the chat. So please let us know let us know your questions so that we can answer a few of them on air. There's a question from Devyani. Thanks for the question, Devyani. Gratuity percentage is fixed at 4.81 in Maharashtra. Yes, Devyani. So 4.81 of the of basic is the gratuity percentage in India. Thanks for the question, Rajkumar. In payroll, how to add earning monthly incentive? Okay. So the monthly incentive, you can definitely add it by choosing the custom allowance. So you can create a custom allowance as we had discussed in the session before, and you can choose it as a variable pay. So choosing it as a variable pay will allow you to select the values each month, and you can provide that to the employees. Thanks for the question, Shweta. To add LOP directly, it fluctuates the salary. Why is it like that? So LOP is basically the number of days the employee was absent. So based on that, the salary should eventually reduce. So if in case you're not willing to reduce the salary or not reduce the value of a particular earning component, we have an option called calculate on pro rata basis. So you can use the option and you can check if you want the LOP to be affecting your salary components, or you can uncheck it and proceed so that no effect will be on the salary components based on the LOP. Thanks for the question, Nisha. Can we configure interns and freelancers paid through Zoho Payroll? We currently have it as a workaround, Nisha. So you can choose the basic. You can create a new duplicate basic component, and you can rename it as stipend or fees, and you can pay it to them. Thanks for the question, Sadhana. How can we add a variable salary portion? So if it's a part of the CTC, as we discussed in the session, you can use the option include above CTC in the one-time earnings. So you can use the option and you can add it as a part of CTC. Inside the pay run, whenever you are processing a pay run, if you want to include the variable part to the employees, you can use the add earning button, which is available inside the application. and you can provide it to the employees. Yeah. I'll pick few questions out of the topic. So there's a question from Ritu. Thanks for the question, Ritu. We have changed company name from this month. Is it possible to have two company names in Zoho Payroll? So I guess you're changing your company name and you want the company name to be affecting only from this month onwards, not on the previous payslips as such. So yeah, you will be able to change your company name, Ritu, and it will be affecting only the upcoming payslips and TDS sheets. So not the previous ones. Previous ones will stay as such. So next part of the question, is it possible to have two company in payroll? Yeah, under one login, you'll be able to have multiple organizations. How do we calculate the overtime calculation? So Harshita, thanks for the question. It depends on the organization. So few organization do it on hourly basis, few organization do it on day-to-day basis. So it all depends on the organization. A question from out of the topic. Some of the employees are based on TDS as contractor while on probation period and some of them on IT. How does it reflect in Form 16? Devyani, currently we do not support contractors inside Zoho Payroll, but we do have workaround. So in order to discuss this in detail, I request you to contact our support team. We'll be more than happy to help you out with this. Here's a question from Siva. Thanks for the question, Siva. Can we have the daily wage stuff under Zoho Payroll? Siva, currently we do not have it, but yeah, we do have plans to bring this in. So we'll definitely inform you once it's available. Thanks for the question, Shweta. How will we get to know the changes in PF and ESIC details? So as soon as the changes come in, we'll be making those changes in the product itself, Shweta. So you not worry about that. And especially for ESI, the percentage rates will be altered here by our backend team, and you'll be able to see those changes as and when it comes. There's a question from Ambika. Since it's out of the topic, I request you to please contact the support team. So let's stay on the topic for now. Please contact the support team, and support team will be more than happy to help you out with this. Here's a question from Nandini. Thanks for the question, Nandini. We have fixed professional tax for our employees on a monthly basis. In case of an employee having nil salary, the profession tax is still being deducted. In such a case, we end up editing manually. Can this problem be rectified? Nandini, we would definitely want the employee salary structure here. So it's better that you reach out to support with all the necessary information required. And one of our support team members will get in touch with you. And yeah, this question should be answered on support. Shweta, as we said before, the Expert Talk 2 series was regarding the Form 16 generation. So we have given the link in the handouts option. So you can use the link and take a detailed look on the webinar. And if you have any further queries, reach out to support. We'll be happy to help you. There's a question from Bharat. Thanks for the question, Bharat. Can we have a deduction in termination payroll? For example, recovery for company assets not returned. Yes, Bharat. It is termed under the post-tax deduction. So you can first create a post-tax deduction and make it a one-time deduction, and you can add it in the termination page. Whenever you're terminating an employee and creating a termination payroll, you'll be finding this component on the screen. So you can add the amount and the system will do the deduction for you. This is the last question for the day. So it's a question from Divya. Thanks for the question, Divya. Can we take the rate from extracting the report from Zoho Payroll for EPF charges? So I guess you're asking about the report for filing purposes, Divya. So we do have the report with the name EPF ECR. So under the reports module, you can find this report named EPF ECR, and you can download that in the ECR format itself, the format which is requested by the EPFO. You can directly submit that report to the department. Thanks for joining us all today here. Hope you found this session useful. So I'm transferring this to Archana now. Over to you, Archana.
So we see that questions are still coming up. We are trying to cover as much as we can. but due to time constraint, we already crossed 4. So I'll definitely get back to you guys with my post email where I try to answer most of your questions. I'll attach a document and the handout for this session so that you can refer it while you're watching the recording. I'll add that as well. So I hope you guys found this session useful. Please go for the feedback form which will appear as soon as you exit the session, and please answer us and tell us your feedback so that we can bring more to you and know what you're looking for and make the forthcoming sessions even more beneficial and useful for you. Thank you so much. Please stay safe. Have an amazing day. It was really glad to have you all here. We saw an amazing attendance and hoping to see you back again for the next session. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hanish and Sriram, for helping out with everything. Once again, thank you all.